Hi everybody, I welcome you to my show PS Rathore Talk Show Untold Story। ये एपिसोड आपके लिए बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है। पता है क्यों? अपन लोगों के लिए क्यों इम्पोर्टेंट है? इसलिए इम्पोर्टेंट है कि मैं हमेशा एक बात कहता हूँ कि जिसके पांव फटे ना बेवाई वो क्या जाने पीर पड़ाई। सेल्स की, मैनेजमेंट की, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप की बड़े बड़े लेक्चर आप सुनते रहते हैं, यू कैन डू, यू कैन डू, यू कैन डू, लेकिन जो कहता है उसने कुछ नहीं किया। आज का इंटरव्यू, आज का कन्वर्सेशन इसलिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि मैं आपको इंट्रोड्यूस करूंगा एक ऐसे व्यक्ति से, एक ऐसे पर्सनालिटी से जिन्होंने अपनी लाइफ में एक बहुत बड़ा करियर बनाया। और ये करियर उन्होंने शुरुआत करी थी एक ऐसे पोजीशन से जो उस वक्त अनवांटेड था और जो लाइफ में कुछ नहीं कर पाते थे उनके लिए होता था। You know what was that career? The career was of a salesperson. You got my point? Salesperson. And from the salesperson of a medical company, say like AMA, medical representative, he went and he became the General Director and International Business Head of many multinational companies. He will tell you how to do and how to survive in this tough competition. आप कहते हो ना, survival of the fittest. चार्ल्स डार्विन ने कहा था and हमारे B.D Nathani sir ने किया था. So let us welcome B.D Nathani sir in the series of Untold Story. And he will guide you and let you know how exactly you can survive in your life. So, let's start with B.D Nathani sir.
Hi sir.
Hi. The person who started his career from nobody to everybody, from nothing to everything. So,
Thank you.
tell me something about that, how you started your career.
Well, if it's to career, then I started career long back in 1972.
Right.
In the government of India, after passing my UPSC examination.
Wow, this is untold. I didn't know about this. That's
this
right.
is untold.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Surprised, yeah.
Because nobody knows that I did government stint for 5 years.
Oh.
हुआ ये था कि मैं
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
here the one point I'm going to add. What is a limiting belief? आपके पास कुछ होता है और आप कहते हो ये छोड़ूंगा नहीं। यानी वो मंकी की कहानी आपने सुनी है ना कि एक मुट्ठी हाथ में होता है और वो मिट्टी के बर्तन में होता है, वो छोड़ता नहीं, हाथ बाहर निकलता नहीं। Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a dream, you have to sacrifice something, and what exactly he did it. He left the government job to follow his passion. Yes,
Dream.
sir. Continue. Yeah.
So I passed the clerical grade examination in 1972 क्योंकि I was not able to clear my graduation. After a 5 years struggle, although I was a first class student in higher secondary,
Wow.
because of transfers of my father from one place to another, my studies were disturbed. And after higher secondary, normally a person takes 3 years to become a graduate. I was in Manipur, Imphal for 3 years. There was a problem. Father was transferred back to Delhi. I have to come back. They did not actually accept the Guwahati University's second year examination at that time. So I lost my 2 years. Finally, मुझे 7 साल के बाद BA करना पड़ा from पंजाब यूनिवर्सिटी।
Wow.
तो जो 3 साल में करना था उसे 7 साल लगे। कोई भी आदमी इतना निराश हो सकता है और कई बार मुझे भी ऐसा लगा।
सर, यहाँ पे एक क्वेश्चन यहाँ पूछना चाहूंगा और एक मैसेज अपने बच्चों को दूंगा, बिकॉज मोस्ट ऑफ द मैनेजमेंट स्टूडेंट हमारे इस शो को बहुत प्यार से देखते हैं और हमेशा एक बात कहते हैं कि सर मैंने 12th के बाद ये फाउंडेशन का एग्जाम दे करके हम लोग यहाँ रह गए, हमने ग्रेजुएशन नहीं किया, हमारा 3 साल बर्बाद हुआ, हमारा 4 साल बर्बाद हुआ। व्हाट सर इज सेइंग दैट व्हाट नॉर्मली पीपल टेक 3 years, he took 7 years, but in the careers he succeeded the people who was successful when I was studying. So the time is just a matter. The moment आप जागोगे ना, वो कहावत है ना, जब जगा
तब सवेरा।
That's a point exactly what is going on. Yes sir, carry on. Fantastic story.
So, हुआ यूं कि मुझे लगे 7 साल, तो इसी बीच में मैंने सोचा जब तक ग्रेजुएशन हो I should be not dependent on my parents, तो अपने कुछ कमाई करनी चाहिए। तो मैंने यूपीएससी का एग्जामिनेशन भर लिया बिना अपने फादर को बताए, क्योंकि मेरे फादर को क्लैरिकल ग्रेड बिल्कुल पसंद नहीं था, और मैं पास हो गया। 365 मेरी रैंकिंग थी एंड आई वाज सिलेक्टेड इन मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ फॉरेन ट्रेड, और मेरे को 369 रुपीज की सैलरी 1972 में मिल गई। मेरे कई दोस्तों ने कहा हमारी तो जिंदगी बन गई, अब तो हम कभी भी गवर्नमेंट जॉब छोड़ेंगे नहीं, जबकि मेरा एक ड्रीम था हमेशा कि फॉरेन ट्रेवल, एयर ट्रेवल एंड टू राइज इन लाइफ। तो मुझे ऐसा लगा कि कहीं से स्टार्ट तो करी, कम से कम आई एम नॉट डिपेंडेंट ऑन माय पेरेंट्स मनी। और वहीं पर सोचा कि टाइम बहुत है। तो पहली बार पता चला कि वाकई सरकारी कर्मचारी काम नहीं करते, और बिल्कुल काम नहीं था। तो एक साल पहला तो बिल्कुल बोट क्लब पे बैठ के माचिस वाली गेम खेलते रहे, और उसके बाद ऐसा लगा कि ये टाइम वेस्ट कर रहे हैं। तो मैंने एलएलबी ज्वाइन किया, दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी इवनिंग क्लासेस, एंड 3 साल में एलएलबी करते करते ये सोचा कि अब आईएएस की तैयारी करके आईपीएस आईएएस का एग्जाम दिया, और मैंने एलएलबी भी किया, और साथ साथ 1976 में मैंने आईएएस आईपीएस का भी एग्जाम दिया। किस्मत अच्छी थी कि मैंने आईपीएस पास कर लिया, जिसने मुझे कॉन्फिडेंस बहुत दिया, लेकिन किस्मत को मंजूर कुछ और था। और मैं मेडिकल ग्राउंड्स पे, क्योंकि मेरी हाइट आईपीएस के हिसाब से 165 सेंटीमीटर ना होके खाली 162 सेंटीमीटर थी, so I was rejected on medical grounds.
Now, the very simple point, the person who cleared the graduation in 7 years, what normally people clear in 3 years, and still hoping for UPSC exam. That's called the power of confidence. That's called the power of belief. That's called the power of convictions. What next? What people, think, that's मेरा ये नहीं हुआ, मैं पास नहीं हुआ, मैं इंटर पास नहीं किया, मेरा ये नौकरी नहीं हुआ, मैं 28 साल का हो गया, मैं 27 साल का हो गया, मेरी करियर फिनिश हो गया. See, your career is finished when you think you're finished. Is all what you believe. And सर ने एक बात कहा, पता है क्या बात कहा? कि destiny. I'm a believer of the destiny. The destiny was carrying on, and he today considered that it's good that he was not selected as an IPS, right? And he said that government job में उनके पास काम नहीं था. हम ये नहीं कहते कि गवर्नमेंट जॉब में जो रहते हैं उनके पास काम नहीं है, बट काम करने वाला व्यक्ति चाहिए, काम होना भी चाहिए. और काम उस जमाने में जब लाइसेंस राज हुआ करता था, उस समय में गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉय की एफिशिएंसी ऐसी होती थी. लेकिन आज के युग में तो गवर्नमेंट में भी बहुत सारा एफिशिएंसी प्रूव करने के लिए जगह है. What exactly people are doing? The time has changed today. So today we believe that so many government people are doing a wonderful job, and they are doing great way. Now I'm coming to a point, a typical point I'm coming about that. You've joined the first job, and the first job was there in the WARNER-Hindustan, and they sell a chocolate. Now, I want to know what made you to join, and what made you to work very hard in that.
As I said, I did not qualify because of the medical ground. One of my uncle was traveling from Bombay to Delhi by air. So he saw the newspaper National Herald with my name qualified in IAS IPS category, subject to medical test. So he brought the sweets from Bikaner wala, and I was crying at home. And he says, "You have passed IPS, and why are you crying?" So I said, "I have just missed the bus. It's just like you missed the cup of tea with the lips."
Sips and lips. The difference between success has got a lot of mismatch in the lips and sips. That's what exactly point. And most of you will cry, and everybody today, even today, I'm thinking, oh my God, what is going to happen? That's the point. Yeah, carry on. Yeah.
So he was very shocked. He said, "How is it possible?" I told him that my height is 162 centimeter and the requirement is 165 centimeter.
Wow.
So because of 3 centimeter, I missed the IPS. He says that happens only in Bombay films. Does it happen? Does it happen in real life? I have come to know first time.
Right.
And then he said, "Stop crying. What do you want?" So the first reaction was, I want 1500 rupees salary, because I was getting 369 rupees at that time.
Right.
And if I would have joined IPS, my salary in hand would have been 1500 rupees.
Okay.
So I said, forget about IPS. I just want 1500 rupees instead of 369.
Correct.
He said, you take the next train to Bombay. I am flying back tomorrow. You come by deluxe train and come to my home, and within 24 hours, I will get you a job. But get ready. A lot of hard work. I will get you a sales job.
Okay,
That's how my sales career started
And
in
when did
Bombay.
you realize that you have a gifted communication power?
Well, not, I will say, because it was not tested till then. But many people
But I
used
think it's
to
a
tell
bond. It's inherent.
Yeah, it is
It's
inherent.
not acquired, right?
Because many people used to tell me that you will prove to be a very good lawyer in the court if you have
that's
passed
right.
LLB.
That's right.
Because you speak well, you are a good convincer.
And relevantly, you speak.
Yes, and you are a good convincer.
Hmm.
And that's what exactly my uncle told me, who took me to Bombay. Since you are a good convincer, a salesman has to be a good
that's
convincer.
Right. Okay. But
So-
his uncle recognized that he's gifted with the communication power, and
Conviction
he searched
power.
a job like as a poet. See, he got a convictions like. And what he used to sell in that company?
Halls
Uh,
and Chiclets and whatever is compound. These are the most popular brands even today, Chiclets and Halls.
any experience you have while dealing with this company, because this is a multinational company?
Yes.
So, because my biggest question will be there, what was your experience while working with multinational companies and Indian companies? I know you have written a book called La La Land.
Yes.
And I know this book called the La La Land is experience. Most of the people say that working with the Indian company is a disaster, but while working in the Indian company, he looked for the greatest opportunity of the life, and he made the company from the zero to hero. So now most of the people think that working with the Indian company and Indian businessman, what people call typically the Lala, is a difficult work. But he got lost lot of opportunity into that, right? लोग कहते थे trade है, इन्होंने उसमें सौभाग्य देखा. I'll ask this question also later on. Now, what exactly I'm asking about that? Any untold story जो आपको experience हुआ होगा first job में कि आपको क्या करना चाहिए आगे success के लिए?
Well, मैंने जब पहली जॉब ज्वाइन की तो आई वाज टोल्ड कि बहुत अच्छे पैसे हैं, बड़ी अच्छी लाइफ है, 5-star होटल में रहने को मिलेगा, सब कुछ हो.
मतलब glamour से you were
Yes.
air flight,
Yeah.
5-star hotel cultures, but साथ में कोई और भी शौक था?
नहीं,
और कोई
कुछ
ग्लैमर की दुनिया में कोई शौक
ऐसा
नहीं था?
कुछ नहीं था. फिल्मों का शौक था.
अच्छा, फिल्मों का ही शौक था या फिल्म में काम करने वालियों के साथ?
नहीं, खाली फिल्मों में शौक था.
अच्छा,
एंजॉय करने के लिए कि भाई हाँ एंटरटेनमेंट के लिए, और दोनों में कोई
Can you share me one incident of your first job when you got a lot of money कि क्या करो इस पैसे से? तो कुछ अपनी पर्सनल चीजें पूरी करनी चाहिए, शौक. What you bought with this money for your personal things? What you did buy with your that money?
मेरे ख्याल से जो मुझे पहली बार अच्छा पैसा मिला वो वुडलैंड में मिला था.
अच्छा, वो तो बहुत बाद की बात
बहुत
है.
बाद में.
हाँ.
बाकी पहले तो हैंड टू माउथ वाली लाइफ होती थी.
अच्छा.
बिल्कुल जैसे मैंने कहा.
This is a learning. What I say, most of the youngster जैसे ही उनको डिग्री मिलते हैं ना, वो सोचते हैं कि एक ही बार में मुझे इतना पैसा चाहिए. Boss, life is a journey. It's not a destination, right? और धीरे धीरे शौक पूरा होता है. जब नींव ही खराब होगी तो आगे चीजें नहीं बनेगा. इन्होंने अनुभव किया और अनुभव से सब कुछ प्राप्त किया, right? So another job, you left that company and you joined RANBAXY.
Yeah.
RANBAXY, I also have worked in RANBAXY.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's great. I was under the team of the Bhai Parvinder Singh, and for me, he was a god. Today, I'm an entrepreneur just because I got a chance to work with him.
Wonderful.
Because he believed what next. He always believed what next, rather than he always used to tell a story, tell a statement like that. तेरे अंदर जो है ना, उसको enjoy कर. Don't stop. You're better in the process of getting best.
Okay.
You work, the better will become the best. That's the point. What was your experience and how exactly realized into that? Achha, before that, why did you leave the first company?
Yeah. Well, I left first company because I realized within 1 year that the people working there for sales executive for last 20 years.
Oh.
So I found 7-8 guys already working for last 20 years, nobody being promoted. So I asked one day my boss, when will I get promoted? When will I get a chance to get promoted? So he laughingly said while drinking, look, I'm in this company for last 20 years as an area sales manager. Unless I either don't die or I, don't quit. You will never get a chance. And how will you get a chance? Because 7 senior people are already there.
The waiting, yeah.
So you forget about the chance. You enjoy your life. You are getting good money and all that. So I say, no, I'm not here for money.
Yeah,
I need some position. I need some status in my life.
Correct.
I don't want to carry this salesman bag throughout my life.
Correct. So here, in fact, I'll be discussing with you at the main point that जब आप वहां पे ग्रोथ के लिए जा रहे थे कि मुझे डेजिग्नेशन ग्रोथ चाहिए, दैट्स व्हाट वी कॉल द एनरिचमेंट ऑफ द जॉब, लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन. बट सर एक बात बताइए, ये इश्यूज तो आज भी है. मैं कई कंपनी में जाता हूँ, कई लोग वेटिंग टू बी द सीनियर पर्सन में रिटायर हो जाते हैं, अगला व्यक्ति वहीं बैठा हुआ है. Then what is the solution as on today's context? Because I'll not name the company called, it's a super success PSU. And even in the PSU, the chairman is since last 15-20 years. And many people in the process to become the chairman of the company and they got retired.
Yes.
Now the question is, how should they handle it? Because they don't have a courage. They are not B.D Nathani, no? That's called the Bhagwan Das Nathani, right? There's a full name is?
Correct.
So everybody is not a Bhagwan, right? Who can take a decision on own. What should they do? क्या करना चाहिए?
Well, I took a decision.
So everybody has to take an individual decision.
You have to take
all
a decision.
Your decision.
I took a decision that I don't want to remain a salesman throughout the life. So I have to go. And my boss told me, go to a company which is a growing company, which is an Indian company rather than MNC company.
Wow, that's good. That's amazing. Respect Indian company. See, I always tell Indian company में, अपने company में भी मैं बात बोलता हूँ कि Indian company का जो आप लाला कहते हो ना, तो I'm also a लाला, right? This is working. I'm also a लाला. अपन लोगों के पास एक दिल होता है ना, अपन लोग दोस्त स्टाफ से पूछते हैं तेरे घर में क्या प्रॉब्लम्स है, चाहे 2 रुपया कमाए चाहे 2 लाख रुपया कमाए. 2 रुपया कमाता है तो 2 रुपया से उसे खर्चे बढ़ते हुए, 2 लाख कमाता है 2 लाख से खर्चे बढ़ते हैं. हम पूछते हैं, लास्ट मोमेंट तक रिटेन करने की कोशिश करते हैं, आउट ऑफ द वे जाके हेल्प करने की कोशिश करते हैं. बट डू यू थिंक दिस एमएनसीज डज? नो, वन सिंगल मेल यू आर आउट. There's no emotional connect about this.
There is only one major difference.
Yeah.
They work professionally. Indians work emotionally.
Emotionally. And I believe this is better. That's
better.
And nowadays you think, see, you are a professor of strategy, you are teaching in BIMTECH, you taught in Jaipuria. I always say that earlier case studies हमेशा foreigner होते थे, फॉरेन की कंपनियों की होती थी. आज इंडियन केस स्टडीज इतना ज्यादा है कि आप थक जाओगे, केस स्टडीज खत्म नहीं होगा.
Absolutely. There are more Indian case studies than even foreign.
Even in Harvard being taught. Yeah. Even in Harvard, Narayan Murthy discussed in there, Rajiv Premji discussed in there.
Bombay Dabba Wala is a story.
Dabba Wala, you know,
such a big story in Harvard as well as IIM Ahmedabad.
In fact, I met this guy. We had a program at the same stage.
Okay.
That's the guy called the Praveen Agarwal.
Yes.
Praveen Agarwal probably. Yeah. So there's so many case studies. So now your experience from multinational to the national, and that was the Indian multinational RANBAXY. What was the experience and why did you leave that?
Well, fantastic company to work. Dr. Parvinder Singh, as you say, a man, absolutely true to his words.
Wow, absolutely.
And I was promised that if I work the same way I worked in Warner,
right,
I will get promotion every 2 years.
Right.
I worked for 6 years. I got 3 promotions.
Wow, great.
And which motivated me to continue. But I left them because when my 3rd promotion was given to me, but somehow or the other, because of some reasons, it was withheld again, saying that somebody known to the director marketing is being given my position.
You mean
so I will have to wait. So this is a problem of Indian companies, wherein because the person who owns the company brings in either his brother-in-laws, sister-in-law, daughter-in-law into the and give the position at the cost of a professional, which I did not like. So I told them, you can always accommodate your person, but not at my cost.
Wow, that's a point. In fact, I'm thinking about that in Indian company even today. People say is a professionally managed, but I personally feel is the personally managed. is a personally managed. Personally managed means the family managed.
Family.
So Indian companies are professionally taught, but the family
managed.
So family many times overcome on the cost of the true professionals who have given their life.
They compromise.
They compromise
to accommodate somebody known to them rather than a professional.
But I think today the scenario is changing because, see, taking me as an example, like my child come to the office, but she has a clear instructions that look, this is your father office. This is not your office.
Correct.
This is your father office, and my staff is there. They will come. She comes. C comes, meet me, and C goes.
Yes.
And that's what exactly, see, those who are in the position, they have to do something. So I personally believe that in Indian management situation, as you are sharing, this is a very serious issues that you cannot cut the throat of a true professionals who is seeding the company, जो कंपनी की सिंचाई कर रहे हैं, बड़ा कर रहे हैं, उस केसेस में उस व्यक्ति के ग्रोथ को आप छोटा नहीं कर सकते, because company is run by the professionals. One has to believe it. You can run the company with emotion, but if that emotion is created and given among the employee who are running the company successfully, I think growth is more. Is that clear? So that's a fantastic discussion going on. और बहुत बड़ा इशू आपने यहाँ उठाया कि इंडियन मैनेजमेंट को इस बात को समझना पड़ेगा कि फैमिली मेंबर से अगर ज्यादा डिजर्विंग कोई बाहर का व्यक्ति है तो बाहर का व्यक्ति नहीं, वो कंपनी का व्यक्ति है कि कंपनी इज आर्टिफिशियल पर्सन. दैट्स वेरी सिंपल पॉइंट. वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस. कुछ ज्यादा थियोरेटिकल हो रहा है, बट दिस इज हाउ द अमेरिकंस हैज प्रेजेंट्स. I'll tell you, there was a company called the Saint Gobain. It's a 260 years old company.
Absolutely.
When I was conducting the program for Saint Gobain, 260 years, 260 साल में इंडिया में बड़े सारे शासक आए गए, लेकिन कंपनी वही है. Why this company is that? It's only because professional run the company professionally. So you left the RANBAXY.
So in that I left RANBAXY. Or I believe in one thing in life. One is the destiny. The other is a relationship.
Oh, that's a. In fact, you are a professional at marketing. Philip Kotler says that if you really want to be successful, there's just one thing you need: how to create relationship and how to maintain relationship. That's what I
always believed in maintaining a relationship. So my ex-boss in this RANBAXY company had joined Burroughs Wellcome.
Wow.
So we were in touch. Although he was in Bombay, I was in Ahmedabad. So one day...
Did you approach him or he approached you?
So it was a casual call. Wow, how are you feeling? And how are you?
Great.
So I just told him that I put in my papers at RANBAXY because of this thing.
Yeah. So P, what is the simple message sir is giving that? Don't disconnect your relationship with the previous boss. Say hi, say hello, send a message and be in touch.
आजकल हम लोग रिलेशनशिप समझते हैं कि जब तक जिसके साथ काम है तब तक रिलेशन रखो, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. काम की वजह से रिलेशनशिप नहीं, प्यार की वजह से रिलेशनशिप होना चाहिए, असली दोस्ती होनी चाहिए.
And this is relevant everywhere. Even today in the senior management, you get job or you get appointment or you get assignment not because of the competency, just competency you have. Of course, competency is required, but you also get because the relationship and connect you have. That's point. So continue. So what happens then?
So we got connected and he said, we have a vacancy in Ahmedabad. Can I recommend your name? My director is visiting Ahmedabad. I said, anytime, sir. I'm looking for a job urgently. He said, then I'll get, my boss will connect you tomorrow. He's in Ahmedabad. Next day, this boss connects me in my office. Mobiles were not there during those in 80s. So he connected me in my RANBAXY office and told me that I'm sorry, boy, I cannot meet you. I've already checked out of the hotel. And unfortunately, I'm so busy throughout the day, I have to appoint a C&F agent. So only place where we can meet now is you have to come to the airport and see me. In the evening, my flight is at 7 o'clock. And before I could ask him, how can I recognize you, sir? He put the phone down and I do not know from where he was speaking, so I could not even connect.
And there was no mobile phone.
And there was no mobile phone.
Yeah.
And then, as you say, I thought, let destiny is taking my test. Let me try my luck and go to the airport at least. So I took my old Lambretta scooter and went to the airport and just praying God, oh my, how to recognize this man, Mr. Chandy, Director Marketing, Burroughs Wellcome. While I was entering...
This Mr. Chandy is the same guy who launched the Unilever?
Absolutely.
Wow,
he
that's
was
such
an
a big
ex-Unilever guy, the man with the golden hands who made this little... And the movie of this little la 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 la, under the fountain, the girl singing that.
Little girl.
They call it.
What's the name like? This is some say from Shimla. What's the name of the girl that the first little girl came out in this?
The film was made by Alec Padamsi. Yeah, very popular ad person. So this man joined, and
Pretty Jinta. I think that girl was a Pretty Jinta.
Yeah.
The little girl became a popular. Yes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here I'm coming on this parts that he got a clue to meet Mr. Chandy. Correct? And he said that you meet at the airport. He doesn't know the face and he doesn't have a phone number. He had a courage to take a decision. Take a decisions. You know what happened? I always tell that. अपन लोग बोलते हैं ना कि जब सारे ग्रीन लाइट होगा ना तब आगे बढ़ेंगे. ऐसा नहीं होगा. I always say, come on the way and the way will teach you to go away, to go ahead. रास्ते पे आओ, रास्ता खुद सिखाएगा कि next रास्ता क्या है. So he will tell that how he met the person who created his destiny, and he started with a no clue. So from no clue to the certainty, just listen to him. What happens further?
At the gate of the airport, I met 3 gentlemen coming out. They were my good friends.
What destiny?
Professional friends.
Destiny.
Destiny.
Yeah.
And they were from Premchand Gokuldas company.
Yeah.
So we wished each other, hi Mr. Shah. And then he said, how come you at the airport? I said, I am looking for one gentleman called Mr. Chandy, and he has to interview me, and this idiot has called me
Right.
and to find out where I am and that I will pass the test. And he said, oh great, then you are already through with them. I said, how? He said, we have just left Mr. Chandy in the only lounge here, so you just go to the lounge. There is one guy who is sitting there having his cup of coffee. Just say and tell Mr.
And
Chandy.
how he described is how does it look like? That's a point.
He said,
cute.
a South Indian black guy with no hair on the head. You will find only one guy sitting in that VIP lounge having a cup of coffee.
It's not body shaming. It's not called the body shaming. This is a very simple point, the clues. And he gave the clues and he took actions.
And the beauty of the interview was when I entered the VIP lounge, I said, hi Mr. Chandy. Without even looking at me, he said, hi Mr. Nathani, welcome.
Wow.
I said, sir, how did you? He said, there's only one person who has to search me at this airport, nobody else. So I said, sir, ask any questions. I have a flight to catch. I have no question to ask. You have already passed the test by recognizing Mr. Chandy at such airport.
Right.
So you have passed the test. You please come to Bombay to take your appointment letter.
Wow. See, this is called what you have to try actions. I always say action is the mother of all decision. लोग कहते हैं ना मोटिवेशन होगा तो एक्शन लेंगे. सर का कहना है जब एक्शन होता है तो मोटिवेशन खुद आता है. जब रिजल्ट आता है तो मोटिवेशन खुद आता है. आप जब जिम जाते हो, जब रिजल्ट आता है तो नेक्स्ट डे आपको कोई कहता नहीं है कि जिम जाओ. राइट, बिकॉज दिस व्हाट मोटिवेट्स यू. सो व्हाई डिड यू लीव दिस कंपनी and how long did you stay in that? Any specific story you want to share from this story so that my marketing people can understand?
Absolutely. Well, I joined the company because I was in need of the job.
Right.
And 2, I have always this fear that any pharmaceutical company, and it proved right later, can never succeed in consumer products,
right?
Because the pharmaceutical company always have the practice to sell the products through prescription.
Okay.
And when you sell a consumer products, you have to advertise very heavily on the television, the radio, or the hoardings, and all that.
Cost.
So it requires a lot of cost involved. While in prescription, you have to just give free samples to the doctor and get prescription. So any pharmaceutical company, if you see the track record of so many, none of them have succeeded because there is a strategical difference in marketing approach.
So strategic thinking, right?
So within 2 years, the company actually folded and they said we are closing the company. So it was not me who left the company, it was the company who deserted everyone.
But sir, here one single point I was sharing is, this is a very big message you're giving, that if the moment you are diversifying in another company, you have to understand the clue of success of that company, because the one domain does not work in another domain. And जहाँ पे promotion का खर्चा है, वहाँ promotion का खर्चा करना ही पड़ेगा. आप उसको बचा नहीं सकते.
बिल्कुल.
You can't set the new trend, right? And this is message to the marketing people that the moment they're joining any company, they have to clearly speak कि boss तुम्हें marketing का खर्चा करना है तो करना है. तुम्हें advertising का खर्चा करना है.
avoid that.
You cannot avoid that. The business will collapse. Business will collapse. So what happened? Which next company exactly joined? And that's the company which is the next company you joined from there?
Well, again I said relationship comes to my rescue. Who was my boss in Burroughs Welcome?
Whoa.
He joined a company called LOTTO Sports Shoes, brought by Rathore Industries in India.
Right.
So he gave me a call.
LOTTO is the same company which became very famous after the assassination of Rajiv Gandhi, sir.
Yes.
Because he was recognized because of LOTTO, right?
Absolutely. LOTTO became very popular at that time because of Rajiv Gandhi's assassination, because his body was identified only by his shoes.
Oh, but LOTTO was not very popular in Maharashtra and even in Calcutta. I remember when I born and brought up in Calcutta.
Yeah.
So हम लोग क्या होते थे फैंसी मार्केट में LOTTो खरीदने जाते थे जो कि वो कहीं से वो
इम्पोर्ट होके आ जाता
हाँ वो इम्पोर्ट समझ सकते हैं ना वो दूसरा वाला इम्पोर्ट होके फैंसी मार्केट में आता था हम उसी के लिए जाते थे राइट सो how exactly you guys helped LOTTO to be established in India? Can you share in detail?
Well, when we launched the brand in 1989,
correct,
I was zonal manager for Delhi, I mean Northern India and Eastern India.
Correct.
So Northern India is always a very good market for sports shoes.
Correct.
Because climatically, we have winter, we have summer, we have everything.
Right.
And plus people are very sports loving, particularly Punjab, Haryana and all these. So they are into sports. So this brand did very well in Delhi and North India belt.
Right.
So, on the basis of my performance, within 2 years, I was promoted as a national sales manager.
Wow. And how old you were there?
Bombay.
How old you were there?
Well, I was 40 years.
You're married, right?
I was married with 2 children.
Okay, understand. How did you marry? Like in somebody from the team or somebody somewhere else, or
No.
you got arranged marriage?
It was an arranged marriage.
So you sought that affair separately and married separately?
No, there was no affair at all.
Right.
There was straight away, it was one very funny incident, but very funny incident I will tell you.
Yeah, whatever.
It was the other way around. I never went to see the girl. Normally, which used to happen in 80s, 70s, 80s. My wife came to see me.
Oh.
And at my house one day suddenly, his father, her father and she both turned up. I thought, how can a girl come to see the boy in the 1979?
Right.
So I saw the girl. I thought she is the sister of the my would-be.
Okay.
So I welcomed them, but when I asked the name, so she gave the name Chitra. I was surprised because Chitra was the name of the girl, the relation which has come to me.
Right.
So I said, "Are you Chitra?" Yes, I am Chitra. Like, how come you come? She said, "To see you."
Great.
So I was shocked also, surprised also, thrilled also.
Right.
Because here is a girl who is actually trying to check the boy herself, rather than waiting for somebody else to see. And that was some 40 years ago happening like that. Unimaginable. Unimaginable.
So what exactly, since you already chosen, so your focus was only on the work. So now tell me that, how exactly you helped LOTTO to be established in India? Because India is a very difficult. India is not Mumbai, India is not Delhi.
Yes.
India is entirely different.
It's a continent.
It's a continent.
India is not a country, it's a continent.
Right.
Because the tastes differ from south to east to west to north.
That's right.
Now, we were very successful, so we thought LOTTO is successful.
Eastern, right?
So we thought LOTTO is successful everywhere.
Right.
So when I was transferred to Bombay, I was on my golden dream. I said, "Wow, great!" But when I went there, opened the files there, I realized 70% of the sales are coming from my territory.
Okay.
Only 30 is coming from south and west. And the challenge was thrown on me that you have to do same way like what you have done in north and east.
Absolutely.
So bring south and west to that level. Automatically we will grow.
Ladies and gentlemen, I always state the replications. If you are successful at one place, if you repeat the same thing at another place, there is always a higher probability you will be successful. And he did, and he implemented the same strategy what he had done in the northern and eastern India. How he did and how he linked what we call connect the dot. It's an amazing story because I have heard him telling somewhere else on some other interview, and please connect and find out the way how can you connect this, how can you use it in your success as the marketing guy. Yes, sir.
I thought it's a challenge, but since I have accepted the challenge, I thought I must try to resolve this issue.
Right.
So the first thing was, when I went to see the problems, I realized that South India distributors have a genuine problems, that their claims are not settled, their grievances are not heard, nobody is actually trying to listen to their problem, so they have stopped selling the product.
Right.
So I told my boss, my managing director, Mr. Tanna, that I need to visit all these places. He said, make one trip in 1 week and come back with a report.
Did you ever think that I should leave the job because you find that जो करता था मैं ही करता था या तो कोई करता नहीं है?
Yes, when I saw the files, I realized there is no potential now to again work so hard for South and West and wait for another year and it may not happen. So it's better to quit rather than I have already got the designation of National Sales Head.
Wow.
Let me go back to Delhi and look for some other footwear company and get it. But then
you
before doing that,
what
I thought, let me try. Let me try once. So at least, because I wanted to see those places which I had not seen.
Right.
So South I had never traveled.
Oh.
So I thought on company money I can see the South also.
Right.
And plus I can also learn few problem solving issues.
Right.
So I went to Hyderabad, and this Hyderabad guy who was a Muslim guy, and he told me, Mr. Nathani, you have a nice tea here. Have my Karachi wala biscuits and take biryani and then go away. Don't try to solve any problem because 5 managers have come here.
Right.
Nobody comes back second time.
Oh,
so you will also not come.
Right.
So don't waste your time.
Correct.
Because I will again open the shoes. You will see. You will check and say claim will be passed. Nothing will happen. 1 year has passed.
Right.
5 managers have come.
Right.
So you please don't waste our time.
Right.
Have your biscuits and tea and go.
Right.
I said, but I am here to stay. He said, no. People also say the same thing.
Okay.
I said, but I'm an old guy.
Right.
I've already worked in this company for the last 3 years.
You said I'm a Sindhi and I know how to do business. That's a point like this.
I said, yes, I'm a Sindhi. You're right. And so you are giving me Karachi biscuit. So it makes me more energetic. So tell me, how can I make you trust me?
Right.
So he said, I can only trust you if in my presence, on my phone, because there were no mobiles, I will connect you to Mr. Tanna, your boss, and you tell him that you are passing the claim and he will pass it.
Right. That's great.
He connected to my managing director, spoke to him, and then told me that you please speak to him.
Okay.
I told Mr. Tanna that there are few genuine problems, I'm trying to resolve it, and he just wants an assurance that whatever I pass, you will also pass.
Right.
Because he believes the person who comes here never comes back because the claims are not passed.
Right.
So how can I assure him that you are passing whatever I am passing?
Right.
He immediately said, give the phone back to him.
Right.
So I gave the phone back to him. He, I think, uttered him only 3 words. Whatever Mr. Nathani is saying is passed.
Wow.
That gave him the confidence, and he gave me the order. He gave me a draft, and he told me, you are most welcome next time. I am not giving you biryani this time. You have to come next time to have biryani. Because I am sure you are coming next.
Your biryani is outstanding. And then and he took a decision that yes, I can do something.
I can do.
Because
if I can resolve Andhra Pradesh problem, I can resolve Chennai also. So I went to Chennai and resolved that also on the same ground.
Yeah, see, what exactly I'm saying here is, nothing succeeds like a success. He exactly got the doubt cleared and conviction that he can do that. And with the chairman signal, he was able to do that. Then I'll ask that how he used this referral point. That he might not be needing to talk to MD all the times, but that the one success can be referred to the another success.
Absolutely. This happens.
How it happened like this?
When I went to Chennai and Bangalore and Cochin, I need not have to talk to Mr. Tanna again.
Right.
I simply told them, Hyderabad problem I have resolved. Because Hyderabad was a major player in that time in South.
And all dealers are connected.
All dealers are connected in footwear. They speak to them on every alternative way. So when I told them, I said, why don't you confirm from my Hyderabad guy and ask him? And actually they spoke to them. And they say, yes, our problem is resolved. And I have given the new order, new draft. And which made the task very easy for me.
See, as a sales guy, if you're getting an order, वो कहते हैं ना
That's the biggest.
पाँव पड़ते नहीं जमीन पे, right? That's what a good success means.
You see, you can't go empty-handed to your head office
Right.
without money and without order.
Without order.
That is the only way of success.
Yeah, order is the money, na. See,
Yeah.
it's a fancy name now. It is coming, the book order, the book cost, and something like that. But in the layman language, we saw if you have an order in hand, means you have a check in hand.
Absolutely.
That's very simple. And with this, there's the survival of the organizations, right? From the manufacturing to procurement for anything, whatever you say.
But I was always still in doubt whether this will last in South and West same way.
Yeah.
Because West was also a problem. But unfortunately, since I joined in April there as a national sales head, so I was praying to God some miracle should happen and I should get, sort of a permanency in this job as a national sales head.
Everybody looks at it.
Very unfortunate for the country.
Rajiv Gandhi.
That Rajiv Gandhi, our ex-prime minister at that time, in 91, on 19th May,
May month probably, yes. May month.
19th May to be very specific,
Yeah.
suddenly died in assassination by the bomb blast. And his body was absolutely disintegrated and was only, recognized by the Lotto Sports Footwear.
Right.
That became the headlines on BBC. That became the headlines in all the top newspaper Times of India,
Wearing
including
Lotto shoes.
wearing. And they had actually shown that footwear only,
Right.
that his body has been recognized.
Right.
Suddenly, the brand, which was not known to many people,
Became known to the universe.
became a household name because Rajiv Gandhi was a household name.
Yeah, right.
And this tragedy was so serious that people were weeping, crying in South. He was a loved leader.
Yeah.
And we realized that suddenly people are talking about the brand they have not heard about.
Yeah, that's right.
And in that, I found one thing, that people in South, particularly shopkeepers, are keeping their leaders' photographs behind
the back of the shop,
their cash counters. So I just told my distributor that the photographs which have come, Rajiv Gandhi wearing Lotto, can we get some photographs of that? He says the cameraman is my friend, I can call him. So when we asked him the negative, he was not ready to pass on at a
He must be
nominal
greedy,
price.
in fact,
He was becoming greedy. He a huge price for that.
Oh.
So we said we don't need negative. We just want 35 copies of the photograph.
Right.
We want to gift it to our dealers.
Yeah.
And he agreed to give it a nominal price. And because it was a large number, so he said if you buy 50 copies, I can give you a hefty discount.
Right.
So we bought 50 copies of that photograph.
Right.
And I personally framed it and gave it to each and every footwear dealer in Tamil Nadu. And I tell you, what a roaring success.
Wow.
He was so popular that every person in Chennai or in Salem or in Mahabalesh or this what you call other places, the hill station Uti, they all started asking for Lotto brand.
Oh.
And from 200 pairs per month, the sale rose to 1,000 pairs a month, 5 times increase. And incidentally, I followed the same in Hyderabad, in Andhra, because there also all Telugu stars like N.T. Ramarao and all that, their photographs used to be put. So at all the footwear shops, I put Rajiv Gandhi photo. My sales, which was already there 400, also increased 4 times to 1,500 pairs every month. So for me, this Bangalore was a cosmopolitan. So in any case, Lotto was known there. Lotto was doing good business in Bangalore, but it increased to double after this tragedy.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, here the simple masses as a marketing person is giving. The loss of Rajiv Gandhi was a loss of nation. But even in that, he looked at an opportunity. It's not in a negative, it's a positive sense. Positive sense to hua so hua. But exactly the recognitions of Lotto became the recognitions of the country at the time. And he used that as a strength and made the Lotto as one of the biggest brands. There's nothing harm. And even today, I see many times, like a lot of elections are coming and all, CS election, CS elections. And there also, जब उनकी मदर की डेथ हुआ, फादर की डेथ हुआ, एवरी टाइम से मदर का डेथ हुआ है इधर, तो मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल लाफ एट दैट ही इज यूजिंग द सेंटिमेंट ऑफ पीपल. बट आई सेड नो, इट्स नॉट लाइक अ सेंटिमेंट ऑफ द पीपल, इट्स ओनली लाइक व्हाट sharing the pain. And exactly the company Lotto was also with the pain. But since Rajiv Gandhi was more than a film star, and if he was wearing the Lotto shoes, that means they got the brand ambassador not only for India but for the whole world as well. And आपने जो फोटो लिए होंगे तो जरूर आपको वो फोटो मिल गया होगा जो फोटो राजीव गांधी ने पहन के शूट किया होगा.
Last photograph before death.
Before that.
When he was assassinated. It was the last photograph at the Chennai airport taken by a photographer of Hindu newspaper. And then it was splashed on the next day. And that these are the photographs just before his death. So we caught hold of the same this guy who had the negative, and he gave us the positive pictures. My only purpose here is that we were equally disturbed with the death. But what I found after 1 month was that because the brand has become popular, what I need is to increase my distribution. Positioning and distribution. Make the product available. People are not aware where the brand is available. So I made the brand available and took the advantage and positioned myself.
It's a genuine one. You're a warrior. You have to find out the
And
tools.
people were asking where is available.
Where is available?
And I made it available.
That's as a marketing guy. That's called the searching opportunity and disaster, right?
So we made the brand available at that time when people needed it.
So you made the Lotto available everywhere from the northeast and then exactly with the southwest. And in how exactly we searched the distributor and everything because the entire Lotto came on your shoulder, right?
Yeah.
So how exactly you placed the Lotto in the Western India, in Mumbai, Gujarat, etc.?
You see, because I had lived in Gujarat for 10 years, so I knew Gujarat market pretty well.
So which company you work for Gujarat?
I worked for all these companies, Lotto and RANBAXY, Burrows Welcome.
So you're dealing all these
all these companies. So I knew the people there.
Again, relationship. Again, relationship.
So when I approached people that now I am with this company,
right?
So I got the distribution very fast in Ahmedabad.
So you're telling marketing guys, it's not the salary your asset. It's the relationship जो कमाते हो ना वही asset.
वही आता है. It comes handy. It comes helpful always.
Yeah, that's
so this is how. So the going was very good after that till 93.
Right.
But only personal problems increased.
Why did you leave that?
Because my family was in Delhi, I was in Bombay.
So you did not make another family in Mumbai?
No, I did not. Because I am a one-woman-man relationship believer.
Okay, that's a personal choice, right? I have nothing to comment about. This is completely a personal choice, right?
So I wanted to be with my wife. I wanted to be with my wife and children, and so I told my management to shift me to Delhi, or give me a nice accommodation in Bombay.
Tell me one thing. Most of the people say the marketing guys goes to the parties, drinks, and all these things. Is it necessary, or without drink also you can maintain relationships?
Very good question you asked me, because I am the only person in sales line you have found who neither drinks nor smokes.
Wow, good one. I used to chain a smoker in my college life, but now I left. In fact, right? That's good.
I don't drink.
What message you are giving to the people?
I don't drink. I don't smoke.
Right.
So my first meeting, now I recall a very funny incident.
Right.
I went to Goa for my first meeting in WARNER-Hindustan.
Right.
At Goa, it was my first visit in such a 5-star atmosphere, and I remember. D.D. Chopra was the managing director of. Why I remember, because this incident has always lived with me.
Correct.
32 people on a table.
Right.
In their, review meeting, annual review meeting.
Right.
And everybody after the meeting is over is served, wine and whiskey.
Right.
So when my turn came in, all my glass, I said I don't drink.
Right.
So he said, what do you want? So I said Limca, because that was my favorite drink.
Right.
So everybody had, different color, except mine was a white color Limca. So D.D. Chopra said, there is one person who doesn't drink.
Right.
Now, is it a positive or is it a negative?
Right.
So many people say, negative, sir. How can a salesperson live without drinking?
That's right. Yeah.
He says, yes,
that's
you will.
Normal condition,
He says, you will always drink, but this guy will always rise in life, because whatever we will all go out of our senses.
Right.
He was the only person who will remain in senses.
Right.
So because he is drinking limca, and I tell you, that made my day, because after that I thought there's a blessing in disguise not to drink. So I don't have to follow the rule that because I'm in sales, I have to drink or I have to smoke.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I always say, the people say that to socialize, exactly, you have to drink and you have to do something what your ethics or your belief doesn't allow. What sir said that what you believe and you do, which is even not done by the majority of the people, you become the benchmark. And what a statement he said that, and his boss said that, when everybody is senseless, the one person will be in the senses. That's what exactly the message is all about. Now I'm coming to the, because बहुत सारे questions हैं, मुझे नहीं लगता कि आपका ये conversation हमारे एक episode में खत्म होगा. अपन को लगता है कि second episode में भी यही लेके हम आएंगे. But I don't want to leave the story in between, because this is the universe. Institutions, Nathani sir एक मार्केटिंग के फैकल्टी नहीं है और काम करने वाले व्यक्ति नहीं है, एक इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं. और अगर पूरा दोनों एपिसोड आप सुनेंगे तो आप पूरे के पूरे मार्केटिंग का एक पूरा कोर्स कर लेंगे. इस बात को समझिएगा, ये पर्पस होगा आपका. सो लिस्निंग टू हिम इज व्हाट लर्निंग हाउ टू बी सक्सेसफुल. दैट्स व्हाट द पॉइंट इज. नाउ सर एक छोटी सी बात बताइए, फिर आपने लोटो छोड़ करके कौन सी कंपनी ज्वाइन किया, एंड आपने बता दिया आपका पर्सनल रीजंस हैं, तो which company you joined and what was your experience in that, and आप पीछे के experience को कैसे लेके आते थे?
Well, when I decided that company is not transferring me to Delhi or neither giving me accommodation in Bombay, so I took a decision, I have to search for a job in Delhi. So I met my mentor, Ashok Mathur.
Again relationship. Wow.
Ashok Mathur used to buy Lotto shoes from me in Bata stores.
Right.
Because he was vice president Bata.
Ex-Bata.
Yeah, ex-Bata. And he has started his own company, Sierra, and was keeping shoes, etc. at Indira Gandhi Stadium and Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium in Sierra stores.
Okay.
So we used to meet whenever I used to come to Delhi on tour, and he used to invite me always to National Sports Club of India for lunch, to give me.
Oh, great.
So he called me to the lunch at NSCI. I went there. So we had a normal lunch, and then he always used to drop me at my Karol Bagh distributor. So he said, "Come, I will drop you." I said, "I don't have to go to Karol Bagh today." He said, "Why?" I said, "I am going for an interview at Rajendra Place. So you please go." So he said, "Which interview? Are you leaving Lotto?" I said, "Yes." He said, "You are crazy guy. Why you are leaving Lotto? You are, it's such a nice company, nice brand,
and you have positioned it.
You have a position yourself. You have a value in the market." I said, "But I want Delhi, my headquarters back."
Right.
"You should have told me. I will get you a job, but don't go to this company, Phoenix."
Right.
You are going there.
Achha, you were supposed to join Phoenix. Oh, come on, Kalsi Brothers.
Kalsi Brothers.
Oh, that's right. That would have been disaster.
I don't know, but God saved me.
I know.
Destiny. So
I
God
know.
saved
It's a destiny, yeah.
Destiny.
Right.
So I was about to go for an interview to meet Mr. Ajay Kalsi, and Ashok Mathur just told me, "You sit in my car. I am taking you to Karol Bagh to meet your new company bosses, Aero Group of companies." That's how I went and met Mr. Avtar Singh, the chairman of the Aero Group, and incidentally he selected me, and I became the first general manager of Woodland shoes in India.
Wow.
That was the beginning of Woodland. But till then, the brand was not positioned as a Woodland. It was Aero shoes.
But I personally believe that the WOODLAND was very fond of their stars. Well, they were very eager to hire a brand ambassador, promote through this. So marketing was completely different from...
No. In fact, it's the reverse way.
Is that?
Woodland never used to hire any brand ambassadors at all.
Achha, is that?
No cricketers, no film stars. Right. Because my chairman Avtar Singh always used to say,
but I saw the Sanya Marjan that.
My product is always my... So I don't need any hero to promote my product.
Oh, that's great. That's what, in fact, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm saying here is that most of the times in educational brands, I'm finding nowadays that the brand ambassador doesn't have to do anything with education, but they are the brand ambassador of the educational quarter. Like this is what exactly. I don't find any senses. Shoes में तो ठीक है, कोई भी पैसा होगा तो पहन लेगा. But how come a person who has got no relation with education become the brand ambassador of education? That's मेरे दिमाग में नहीं पड़ता. मतलब बिल्कुल नहीं पड़ता. Anyway, but in case of the I'm talking with the Woodland, Shania Mirza, I think was a brand ambassador.
No, that was in different company.
That was in different company. Okay, right.
In Woodland, when I actually came that competition in '93, I joined Woodland as a GM. So the biggest thing was how to enter into a market.
Right.
Because Bata, Liberty, Action, Relaxo, they were the 4 major players in the country.
Okay.
So my job was how to position the brand differently than all these 4 brands.
Okay.
So when we looked at the product line, our product was very different than Bata and Liberty.
Yeah.
We were positioning for the youth of that time. And the brand was casual and outdoor,
Correct.
which no other company was giving.
Yeah.
So we have one advantage also,
And
that
disadvantages.
if you are giving a product which is unheard of,
Yeah.
so you can charge any price.
Yeah.
But then there was a negative aspect, whether the Indian consumer would like to spend so much of money on a casual and outdoor.
That's what in
footwear.
marketing we call the penetration or
Yes.
skimming.
So yes, absolutely.
Yeah, the skimming price.
So there was a decision to be taken. So in interview, Avtar Singh had asked me one question. You are selling the costliest shoe Lotto in India at $795. Are you ready to cross 1,000 barrier? I said yes. He said why? I said if you give me a good product, price is not a criteria. So I was selected only that one answer.
Right.
So I have to prove now myself that if he's giving me a product of my choice, and I said any innovative or unique product can fetch you any price. He said here I am giving you the unique innovative product and my price is $995 to start, but within 6 months I will make it $1,100.
Right.
So get ready for that.
Right.
So this is how. So I realized after first year that the only way we can promote the brand is to be very focused and set who is my target customer.
TGs.
So my TG was decided between 15 to 25 age group.
Right.
Then second step was what do these 15 to 25 people like? So I realized they like cricket, they like fashion, they like films.
Okay.
So then I asked for the budget to be spent only on these things. So we sponsored India-Pakistan cricket match in Sharjah.
Right.
We went to the fashion route everywhere. We sponsored all the fashion shows.
Correct.
And then the third was, we also had a tie-up with PVR Cinema later, when PVR came into multiplexes, to do the premieres of all the top movies from Karan Johar, which is Pardesh and all these movies of Shah Rukh Khan. And it became a wonderful success story.
Wow,
focused.
That's the amazing part I'm talking about. With the marketing clue he's sharing is that, and everybody has to learn it. First point is the clarity. Clarity about your customer, your TZ, and focus on that. And after focusing, you position in such a way that the buyer of that product look anywhere, you should be looked upon. That's how the point is.
Absolutely.
Positioning is the key. Positioning is the key. You believe that if the product is good, but the positioning is bad, the product will die out? Die. Absolutely.
The reason is, excellent products with bad marketing and bad positioning normally does not click. And sometimes a very moderate product
with a better marketing,
with a better marketing and better positioning always becomes very successful.
So you're talking positioning is the key. And that you position between the 15 to 25 year of age groups.
And then focus your budget only on that criteria to fix the market.
थोड़ा सब जगह डालने के बजाय एक कॉन्क्रीट मनी उसी जगह डालो जहां अपना कस्टमर है. तो हमारी दादी भी कहती थी कि एक छोटी सी बात बोलती थी हमारी दादी, because we belong to like something of the Marwari community. So what happened, दादी हमेशा कहती थी कि जहां चवन्नी गिरा है ना वही ढूंढ. That's very simple.
आस पड़ोस में कहाँ ढूंढता है?
आंगन में गिरा तो आंगन में ढूंढ. दरवाजे पे ढूंढने से तेरे को कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. तो अगर अपना कस्टमर 15 से 25 का ग्रुप है, एज ग्रुप है, तो वही ढूंढ.
वही
स्पोर्ट्स देखता है तो स्पोर्ट्स
फोकस ऑन दैट.
वो फैशन करता है तो फैशन पे जाओ, उसी को प्रमोट करो. क्रिकेट देखता है तो क्रिकेट को स्पॉन्सर करो. दैट्स व्हाट द पॉइंट इज.
यस.